interview I did today with Will Blackman on Eric Crocker's channel. It was really good, wasn't it? Eric set the whole thing up, and Will Blackman is phenomenal. I'd never actually heard him talk before. So anyway, we asked him about why do you think the Niners are having off-season injuries, because he's not in a position to say, but basically, what is the root cause of them and how can they be avoided? What did you think about what he said in terms of basically my theory is that these players aren't ready for the rigors of spring practices. It's too much. And he was like, nah, it's the opposite. Yeah. They are doing way too much in the spring. When they should be recovering, they're going balls to the wall. And by the time they get to spring practices, they're gassed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He said that players are overworking themselves in OTAs. OTAs and mini camps get you in shape to where training camp gets you ready for the season. That's the way a veteran views it. Yep. But a lot of these younger players that are fighting for positions on the team or fighting for contracts, they're on Instagram all day. They're showing off their bodies. They're showing off their, everything that they're doing to get in physical shape, get ready for the season. And it's almost like they are coming in too worn out. Like they're coming in great physical shape, but their body's not ready for contact.
Ayuk. Yeah. Who works harder in the offseason than Ayuk? He shows it all the time. He goes to those camps and then boom, hamstring, groin. Like, what's that about? Yeah. Oh, you overworked it. You overworked it. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah. That's and it is funny that he said that, because I was talking about last night about how you have a bunch of guys that are trying to make a team. And you're running 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, and you're mixing them with veterans that are there to show camaraderie. Okay. Right. So I looked at this from an average Joe perspective. If you play basketball, you probably play at the Y or 24-hour fitness, whatever is near you. Right. And can you imagine an NBA player going to 24-hour fitness? Like, that would be the worst thing ever. And that's what I like in this too. You've got a bunch of guys who are going to make the team. Yep. They're all pros. They're there to show support. They're going, 80% probably just there. And then you've got the other guys that are fighting for their lives on this team, and they are going all in, and you're mixing that. It's a terrible mix.
I think it's an awful mix, especially in June when you don't have a game to prepare for. You don't have to do these practices. You should be very judicious. It was interesting. I was arguing with Eric Crocker on Twitter in the morning, and he was brilliant to turn it into a show. But it struck me as like, Eric, you were an undrafted free agent. Like, you were one of the guys who had to go 110% in the spring. So of course you wouldn't understand. And it's fine. I mean, it was what you needed to do. I'm sure you needed to create an impression over the entire offseason, not just a few weeks in camp, but still there's a whole different class system on these teams. And I mean, Tavarius Moore, Justin School shouldn't really be mixed in with these other guys. That's a whole different emphasis. So it's an interesting thing that Will Blackman said.
Yeah, it is a very interesting thing. And I think you brought up a good point earlier, also talking about how all these guys were in contract years, basically.
Yeah.
Or fighting for a roster spot.
I mean, we're not talking about the injury-prone players, the dudes in their 30s. The dudes. No, these are guys who are trying to backups, trying to make the push.
Absolutely. So, yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Be careful, Ross Dwelly. That dude looks yoked. A lot of these guys, Jawan Jennings, he looks like a totally different man. A lot of these young guys that remake their bodies, be careful, guys. Recover. Be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.